thatmovieguyUK.
Croeso pawb, welcome everybody to our screening of Stanley Kubrick's Clockwork Orange. Before the film, we will be shamelessly promoting this book, which is called Stanley Kubrick, New York Jewish Intellectual, which is written by Professor Nathan Abrams from Bangor University. Cyn y ffilm heno, mi fyddwn ni'n paratoi ffordd i'r ffilm Clockwork Orange trwy cael sgwrs yma ar llwyfan gyda Nathan Abrams, sef awdur y llyfr newydd hon am Stanley Kubrick, sef New York Jewish Intellectual. Dion Wyn bydd yn gwneud y cywiriad, a mae'n agreso ar ôl tua 4 awr 20 munud i chi gynnig cwestiynau eich hunan. We will have a short 15-minute conversation with Nathan, and then we'll open it up to the floor. So anyone who has any questions arising from the conversation that will be taking place, then you're free to raise your hand and we'll take questions. Anybody there? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to make Chris Murray, Nathan, and Dion. Can we please give our hands together for Nathan? Thank you.
Dion. Hello. We're working now. That's good. Hi, my name's Dion Williams. I am somehow a freelance film critic and journalist. I don't know how I do this, but I do it. And we are here today to discuss and, well, how do we say this? Applaud Nathan's work for Stanley Kubrick, New York Jewish Intellectual. When we think of Kubrick, we think of this behemoth of an auteur that the world cannot really tap into his true mind because he has baffled us. We have theories of moon landings, we have theories of the Navajos being killed. There is so much about Kubrick that can be discussed, and I feel like Nathan is probably one of, and I'm not saying this because I know him, but he is probably the most renowned Kubrick scholar that I know and I have read of. In essence of discussing Stanley Kubrick in a Jewish form, I have never really thought of this. He is a man that has never really practiced Judaism and at the same time has said that his parents were, well, he's ended up having just 2 Jewish parents and has not practiced it. And I think Nathan really has gone beyond leaps to unravel the, are we saying Jewishness? Yep. Jewishness of Stanley Kubrick. Enough of me babbling now. Ti eisiau siarad Cymraeg? Nice. Okay. Mae Nathan yn dysgu Cymraeg. Dal i fod? Dal i dysgu Cymraeg? Andrew. Okay. So, ti eisiau siarad am cefndir Stanley Kubrick i gychwyn?
Oes, dwi eisiau dweud, rhaid dweud diolch am dod heno. Nice i weld cymaint o bobl yna. A mae'n copies ar gael, price da. Beth bynnag, cyfndir Kubrick, nath o ddod o deulu Iddawig yn Efrog Newydd yn y Bronx. Gath o i fagu yn y Bronx efo cymuned Iddawig. Oedd hi ffrindiau yn y Ddawig, felly dylanwadu... Doedd o ddim yn dathlu dim byd efo crefydd. Mae'n anodd esbonio yn Cymraeg. Mae'n anodd esbonio yn Saesneg. Na i newid.
So, I've known Nathan for quite a few years now, and we never really discussed Kubrick that much. I don't know why, but we never do. So, one question that's always baffled me, and I've never known the answer to, is what was your first Kubrick memory within cinema and of reading about him?
Okay. For the benefit of those of you who don't understand my bad Welsh, and for the benefit of the Welsh speakers, copies of this are available at a very reasonable price, and I'll sign them. I have to say also, just to give a bit of background to the book, the whole reason this book comes out of Bangor University, I mean, not just because I've been employed here for 12 years, the whole reason that this book is genesis is when I got the job offer here, they asked me, do you want to teach a new module? And I thought, well, no one teaches directors Yeah, we do in English. In English literature, we teach authors. I haven't answered your question. That's okay. You do a Shakespeare course or Chaucer, but we don't do some film studies. So I thought, let's do Kubrick because there's 13 films. At the time, there was only 12. The other one had disappeared. And it covers almost every genre apart from Western. So I started teaching this in 2007, but it was only about 2011 when I thought, oh, here's an original angle. Because he's one of the most written about directors ever. Probably more than Alfred Hitchcock now. I mean, the stuff's still coming. I just got a book today on his photographs. So the material's still coming out. But only one person had bothered to probe this aspect of his background, his Jewish background. So what I was saying in Welsh is that he came from New York, he was raised there, he lived amongst a heavily Jewish community. So all his early influences were Jewish. He didn't practice anything. And there is a distinction between Jewishness and Judaism. A lot of people get confused. I mean, the best analogy I can give, if you're Welsh and you left Wales, you would still continue to be Welsh, even if you never spoke Welsh, or ate Barrabrith, or voted Clyde, or whatever defines Welsh identity, you would still continue. And that would have an influence on your background. People get confused because they think Jewishness, Judaism is a religion, and therefore if you don't practice it, you're not Jew anymore. It doesn't quite work like that. So what I'm arguing is that Kubrick never believed in conventional religion, never practiced anything, but we can argue that through his films you can detect the influence of his background on his work. And your question was?
My question was, you kind of answered like two of my questions already, but this is fine. This is what conversation's about. What was your first Kubrick memory?
Well, my first Kubrick memory, I don't know, but I do know that the first Kubrick film I saw in the cinema was Full Metal Jacket in 1987. So born in 72, 15. That's the earliest I think I can recall. But I wasn't that mad about it then. I think just 15 when I went to see a war movie. And then I remember being excited to see Eyes Wide Shut in 99 in the cinema.
Why? So why did you become such a Kubrick scholar? Why? What has he done to you?
What's he done to me? Or what have I done to him? Or what have I done to him? I don't know.
Dedicated a whole career to him.
Well, not whole, just
maybe.
Just last 2011. Yeah. Actually, yeah. My interest in Kubrick is older than my kids, but why Kubrick? Why? Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, it's kind of what you said in your introduction, and for those of you who are here who took the modules with me and will take the modules, first year Kubrick never told you what to think, right? He was very, he didn't say much about his films. He gave a few interviews. He left it up to you to make up his mind. So no one can definitively say this film means this. Kubrick meant this, right? He said it's actually up to you to make up your mind. But at the same time, he filled his films with such influences and did so much pre-production research. Eyes Wide Shut, it was 12 years, well longer actually, but typically he spent years on pre-production, reading everything he could about the topic. About Vietnam, for example, about nuclear terrorists. And then filled his films with imagery, music, other things that different people come away with different interpretations and still argue over them. So if any of you have seen Room 237, have you seen that documentary about different interpretations of The Shining? People still argue about what The Shining means. And I think very few directors, how many of you are Christopher Nolan fans here? Yeah, there you put your hands up. Like, people say he's the new Kubrick. That's quite low. Yeah, people say he's the new Kubrick, right?
No.
Technically, maybe. I don't necessarily agree, but I don't think his films will stand up in the same way. Dunkirk. Are we going to be arguing about what Dunkirk means in 10 years' time? I don't think we will. He's got a question already. We're not going to talk about Christopher Nolan.
Okay, alright. Got a question for you. How long have you had an interest in Stanley Kubrick?
How long have I had an interest in Stanley Kubrick?
At least a dozen.
Well, that's my academic interest. At least a decade. Since I got here. What's it now? 11 years, 12 years.
Alright. Thank you.
Obviously, we are going into the Jewishness of Kubrick. How did you find the research process, and how would you even start of beginning this research for this book?
Okay, well, several years of teaching the module, so it's going to sound brag, I pretty much read everything in English, that is. I haven't read the stuff in German, but or French, on Kubrick. The other angle that I took that's kind of a bit different to many scholars is I took advantage of the fact that his archives now are deposited at the University of Arts London. For those of you taking film studies at the moment, or with a lot of film studies, they just read the films with a bit of theory. They don't really, archival work isn't always a feature. But we have this unprecedented opportunity to explore Kubrick's working methods and to try and get deeper insights into his films, because he left in, there's a good documentary out there called Stanley Kubrick's Boxes by John Wilson, and he went to Kubrick's estate and filmed the material that Kubrick kept. He was an obsessive keeper of his stuff, unless he didn't want anyone to see it, and he burnt it. And his wife and estate donated this to University of Arts London, so you get this opportunity to go through this material. And another interesting thing, what gives me a unique angle to say others, is most people study individual Kubrick films. They're interested in Clockwork Orange, they're interested in Shining, they're interested in Full Metal Jacket. What very few of them are interested in is all of them. They don't go through all of them. So I've spent 5-6 years just trying to go through every film, and then locating other archives around the world that have Kubrick material, and then trying to bring it together to try and get a deeper insight, rather than just, what you'll get in the book is not just my interpretation of the films, but a historical contextualization coupled with what I think he was trying to say through his archival resources. And there's an image, for example, in there of a note card he took whilst making Doctor Strangelove. And on that he's written something, I'll tease it for you, and it gives you the closest you'll get to Kubrick saying this film is about this, in part. Yeah, this little note card. And that note card, I wouldn't be able to make that argument.
Without obviously spoiling the book, because apparently spoilers are bad these days, do you feel like you found the answer that you were looking for within this book?
No.
Are we having a part two?
Not a part two.
Sorry.
I love it. You know how it is. You know how it is when you've written a book, right? What happens is, once you send it to the publisher, you then find all this decent material, and people send you quotes you wish you'd put in there. So I'm hoping I'll go for a second edition, but academic publishers are wary of doing that. No, there's no magic bullet, to use a kind of magic bullet theory, there's no definitive answer that you'll find, again, in his archive. Like, no one can claim. Even his closest associates, and just as a little plug, they'll be coming up here on June 16th to celebrate 2001, Beyond 50, we will aquí in T y Hannah Kant. We'll be having some of his closest associates, his brother-in-law, his assistant, people who did special effects for 2001, speaking here on June 16th. Even they didn't get to go into his office. Even they didn't see all the material. So, and they worked with him, some of them for 30 years, 40 years. The archive doesn't contain the answer. And I still haven't got an answer to why. One of the things I argue in the book is Kubrick's Jewish identity was contradictory. He put in characters that we can read as Jewish, but at the same time in a negative way. How many of you have seen Eyes Wide Shut? Yeah, so Victor Ziegler in Eyes Wide Shut, clearly we can read as a Jewish character, played by Sidney Pollack, a well-known Jewish actor-director. But he's the most evil character in the film, right? So what's Kubrick doing there? Why is he put a director in there? Someone really, he's a director, he's put something in there we recognise as a director, but we also, those of you will recognise as a Jewish actor. It's contradictory and it's not reconciled, so I didn't come to a straight answer because I don't think there is one. He's a complicated figure, and I think pat answers. He hated pat answers, and I haven't given one because again, think of us as individuals. None of us are easily reconcilable.
Okay, and then I have one last question before we go out to the audience. Do you feel like if Kubrick released the Aryan Papers as a film, do you think that would have been his potentially ultimate statement of his Jewishness, or no?
I think the fact that he didn't release it is the ultimate statement of his Jewishness.
That's exactly what I thought you were going to say.
Not that obvious. For those of you not familiar with Aryan Papers, so Louis Begley wrote a novel called Wartime Lies, which, if you've seen The Pianist by Roman Polanski, it's not dissimilar It's a story of a boy who has to hide by assuming a genital identity, hence Aryan Papers. Now, Kubrick spent years working on a Holocaust film, not just that one. If you go through one of the things you see in his archives, pretty much from the 50s onwards, he's always been interested in doing this. Anyway, he did a lot of pre-production on Aryan Papers and then gave it up. The story is that Warner Brothers begged him not to do it because it came out so soon after Schindler's List in '93. And also there would have been trouble with authenticity. But that didn't stop him releasing Full Metal Jacket a year after Platoon and filming it in London. Right? So the authenticity and the timing issues go out the window. His wife, Christian's widow, said that he was depressed. I can imagine that because of the voluminous pre-production research in his. If you go to his archive, there's a whole bookshelf. It's almost as long as this. The book's just about the Holocaust. And I imagine that level of research just sort of depressed him. Because his family came from the very regions where, had his family stayed there, they would have been murdered. So there's that kind of personal connection. But I think it would have meant him making a definitive statement about his Jewishness. I mean, one little spoiler from the book is Kubrick referred to Jews only once in 13 films, like directly. And the word he chose to use was kikes. Okay, so a racist epithet. I think that tells you everything you need to know about the complexity of his Jewish identity. In all his films, which in his source text had Jewish characters, okay, but he erased them. So take A Clockwork Orange that we're going to watch. There's a character called Big Jew in prison with Alex. He cuts it out. So he erases all these Jewish characters and then makes one reference in 13 films, and that 13 films is a negative one. And you could say, well, that's because he's a self-hater. But I think that's too easy an answer. I don't think it's correct either. So I think the reason he didn't do Aryan Papers is because he would have revealed too much of himself in a way that he wouldn't have wanted to do.